Ayo, and what's up, gang? Thank you once again for joining me here on the channel for today's official WWE Battleground review. And we had the return of the great Khali, and nobody gave a shit. And we are here to talk about it right here and right now on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's get this one over with. Jeez.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
All right, everybody, thank you so much once again for joining us here. This is the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV, only on YouTube.com. I am your host, as always, Nick Nightmare, and God, tonight was a nightmare, wasn't it? Feels like a nightmare. This is my buddy, the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones, Baloo the Snowball. And we are here today to talk to you about this crappy-ass pay-per-view that they called Battleground. And the only Battleground that there was the battle that was going on between me and my need for sleep throughout this whole entire pay-per-view. That being said, there was some minor moments where I thought this could be good, but they were few and far between. Let's get to the action here, or lack thereof in some cases. First of all, Tye Dillinger versus Aiden English on the pre-show, which most of you probably didn't watch, because I don't know many people that watch the pre-show besides me, because I'm a wrestling retard. And this was a good match. It was a good match. Unfortunately, it was cut by a commercial break, as always, which I still don't understand the usage of commercials during a WWE Network program, but that's another topic for another day. Dillinger and English would put on a pretty good match, and as I predicted on the preview and prediction show before today, Aiden English came out on top. This was a pretty easy thing to predetermine, as he's been getting a very heavy push, although he has not been winning a lot as of late, and I felt like this was going to be their time to do it. Unfortunately, it came at the expense of the terrifically talented Tye Dillinger. That was a mouthful. Terrifically talented Tye. That was awesome. Anyway, I don't understand why they failed to see value in Tye Dillinger, why he has not been being pushed in a greater manner. He should definitely be in the mid-card and challenging for mid-card titles such as the United States Championship, which should not be in the main event type status that it's enjoying at the moment. We're going to get a little bit more on that just a little bit later on. But all that being said, being put on the pre-show means it doesn't really matter, so we're not going to spend too much time talking about it. An impressive win by Aiden English here. The show kicks off with the tag team title match. Now, the WWE went in a direction I was hoping they were not going to go in. But as far as the match goes, the quality of the match was pretty damn good. It is obvious to me that the New Day and both the Usos probably were watching the G1 special that took place a few weeks ago that New Japan held over in California, because their match tonight was very reminiscent of a New Japan wrestling style match. Very fast paced, rapid attack offense, creative double teaming, a lot of false finishes, a lot of very, very, like I said, rapid attacks, fast, one after the other, and there were some great spots, including one moment where Xavier Woods would hit the top rope to do his springboard elbow and would end up eating a foot to the face in midair, which was absolutely perfectly timed by, I believe, Jey Uso. It was fucking beautiful to watch. And the match was full of moments like that. However, my excitement would soon drain as the Usos would hit their typical finishing sequence where one of them hits the super kick, the other one comes off the top rope with a Samoan splash. And this should have been the end of the match. But it wasn't. And Kofi Kingston would kick out of their finish. And as soon as you do that, you know what's coming. The New Day is about to be crowned the new tag team champions. I was hoping against it. I was hoping with all hope that they were going to double swerve us again and actually let the Usos come out on top. Maybe they were going to debut a new and more deadly finish. Who knows? Definitely wasn't that good, as the ending would just be the New Day winning the tag team championships. The New Day has had their time with the tag team championships. I feel like they just had the Raw titles, and they had it for so long. I'm just so bored with seeing them as champions. This was not the time to do this. The Usos have come into their own. They have actually been, in my opinion, the best tag team on the WWE's main roster for over the last 10 years. Maybe more. And how they've decided to evolve and change their whole entire gimmick and be successful with it and even get that over is a testament to how great they actually are. And for them to lose the titles tonight just shows you that the WWE doesn't see as much value in the Usos as they do in the New Day, because the New Day is dollar signs. And the Usos have potential to make a lot of money too. And I think the money in this feud is having the New Day chase, because all of the little people, and the little people I mean kids, and all the real people that watch this show that don't understand wrestling, they all love the New Day. These are like the same people that love Roman, and the people that just drink the WWE Kool-Aid and just accept everything they give them and say, oh, it was great, that was great, everything is great. They love the New Day, and they would want to see them succeed. So the chase is where the magic happens, and then you wait for something like SummerSlam to make some sort of a move. I don't know. Maybe I'm just nitpicking at this point. I just didn't want to see the New Day as champs again. But here we sit with the New Day as our tag team champions after a fairly decent match. I would say more than decent. It was a good match. It didn't bore the shit out of me. It was good, like I said, very New Japan-like. And the outcome is what killed the whole match in that scenario for me. After this tag team matchup, we would get Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin. A match that I stated on other shows should not be happening, because neither one of these guys are fighting each other really for anything. What is the reason for this? Because Shinsuke said something about Baron Corbin and now he's upset, so I'm going to go hit you with my briefcase. What is this, the 5th grade? Or is this the WWE? Somebody said something about me, I'm going to go beat him with a briefcase. And now that's what this whole entire feud has been predicated upon. And then constant sneak attacks and jumping Shinsuke from behind. This is like preschool booking, and there's no real consequence to whoever wins or loses this match. So my interest in this match right off the bat, I didn't really care. I did not believe either one of these guys were going to come off looking good, and they didn't. The match itself was not as good as it could have been. The announce team kept selling this at the very beginning as this is going to be a hard-fought, hard-hitting, striking duel, a duel of strikers. And what we got was a lot of posing and a lot of bear hugs as Baron Corbin was trying to wear down Shinsuke Nakamura instead of just punching him in the mouth and beating the shit out of him until he couldn't stand up, which is what a guy like Baron Corbin should be doing, not throwing 2 and 3 minute bear hugs to a guy half his size. It was just brutal to watch. I couldn't believe the way that this match was choreographed. Just didn't make sense to me for either guy. It didn't come off very well, and to have a disqualification ending makes it even worse. Nobody came out the victor. Everybody looked terrible. Baron Corbin's post-match attack, I guess, maybe made him look strong. I don't know. I didn't like anything that happened in this match. And like I said, no consequence. And with the way it went down, that only means they're going to extend this feud, and it is probably only just begun. So if that is in actuality, what I would do in this scenario, given that Baron Corbin really just is not there yet. He's a great talent. He's just not there yet. He's got to get a little more seasoning. Maybe a run with the U.S. Championship. Maybe a pairing with somebody and a run as a tag team champion. Maybe give these guys some experience with other belts instead of just inserting them in for the main title. So have him put up the Money in the Bank briefcase in a match against Shinsuke Nakamura at SummerSlam. And at that match, you have Shinsuke Nakamura win the Money in the Bank briefcase from him. In which case, at the Royal Rumble, you have either AJ Styles wins the championship from whoever's the champion at the time, and then have Shinsuke cash it in on him at WrestleMania, giving him prior notice and time to prepare and time to hype up the universe, much like John Cena did with The Rock a few years back. Or you have AJ Styles win the Royal Rumble, have Nakamura cash in the briefcase beforehand and win the title, and then set up the one-on-one match that way, where it's just a coincidence that Shinsuke cashed in his Money in the Bank at the Royal Rumble and won the same night AJ Styles comes out the victor of the Royal Rumble. Coincidence, and now it has to happen. Or if you want to make it more involved, you said, like I previously said, you make Shinsuke just come right out after AJ wins the title whenever he wins it at Survivor Series. Make him win it make him fucking win it next Tuesday. I don't care. You have Shinsuke Nakamura get that briefcase, challenge him, cash it in with honor, with respect, giving the champion notice to time and to prepare, so that when Shinsuke wins it from AJ at WrestleMania, it makes it even more special. That's the road I would go down, given the current state of affairs with Shinsuke Nakamura and Baron Corbin. As far as Baron Corbin, I already said, you throw him right back into the, not the mid-card, but the upper mid-card, and you start giving him some title runs with some other gold. And let him establish his character. Let him he just needs to get a little bit better, just a little bit. Not as in ring, he's good, but like the match tonight proves that he's just got a little bit more work to do. And that's my thoughts on that. And we are going to move on to the women's fatal 5-way elimination match. This match was too short for four women to have to be eliminated in this match. This match should have been given more time. It felt too quick. It felt choppy and sloppy, and the girls did the very best they could. It was not a bad match. It just felt rushed, and I feel like that's WWE Creative's fault for not giving these girls enough time to do anything. We have to eliminate 4 girls, and you're only going to give them about 10 minutes instead of give them at least 15, 20 to really flesh something out. Maybe eliminate the first 3 competitors after a nice amount of time in between each one, and then have the final 2 really battle it out as if it was a one-on-one match to really show that this person deserves this opportunity at the champion at SummerSlam. But what do we get? We get quick elimination after quick elimination after quick elimination that leads to a confrontation between Natalia and Charlotte Flair that lasts less than 2 minutes, as we had nothing but quick attacks, quick roll-ups, surprise pins, and lo and behold, the Queen of Blackhearts, the cat lady herself, Miss Natalia, comes out with the win here. And that is the only good thing that came out of this whole thing. I'm happy that Natalia got this win in this scenario. I think that having Charlotte be the obvious favorite, and everybody's like, oh yeah, Charlotte's going to win, and then throwing the curveball and having Natty win, is great. It's great because it just keeps showing you that, well, you never know what can happen. You never know who can win. And now you have Natty versus Naomi at SummerSlam for the Women's Championship. Natalia is a seasoned veteran. She is perfect for these new girls to be wrestling up against, especially on the big stage. Let Naomi get some experience with a really talented, really well-rounded wrestler with the lineage that she has, coming from the Heart Dungeon, having the Heart blood in her. Who better to help progress these girls and give Naomi a really good match. I don't know how good the storytelling is going to be as far as SmackDown Live goes and what these girls are going to say and be scripted to say, because that could be a little cringe sometimes, but the match quality should be off the charts. I'm happy that she won. That was the only good thing I could take away from this match. Otherwise, it was just meh. You know, like that Emoji movie coming out, the main character, the little guy. I'm a meh. That's how I felt about the women's match tonight. It was just eh. And that's it. And we're going to move on. For the United States Championship, AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. This match was great up until the last 2 minutes and the final sequence. The referee bump that took place in this match not only was unnecessary and should not have been written into this match at all, it looked horrible. This guy looked like a fucking goof. He looked like a goofball, flopping around on the floor like a fish while the other two guys are wrestling around. He can clearly see what's going on. And then you have this calf crusher locked in and this weird double pin predicament where AJ Styles gets his shoulder up and the ref is not in position to see, allowing Kevin Owens to recapture the United States Championship, and at the same time leaving the lane open for AJ Styles to continue to try to go after the United States Championship, which is not the avenue he should be trying to go down. He should be making his way towards the main event in the World Heavyweight Championship and let Kevin Owens fight guys like Sami Zayn and Mike Kanellis and even Shinsuke Nakamura. He doesn't have to beat him, but let him fight him. Let Baron Corbin fight him. Let Ty Dillinger, Aiden English, challenge Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. Now that your little AJ Styles publicity stunt is seemingly over, you can do just that now that Kevin Owens cheated his way to the United States Championship for the third time. And to be honest with you, the best thing Kevin Owens did tonight was his appearance on Talking Smack. 10 minutes of some of the most intense and uncomfortable exchanges you will see between two talents on camera in the WWE. He was relentless and tore into Renee Young at every single turn. It was absolutely the most entertaining and uncomfortable thing you could put yourself through. I definitely recommend you sitting through that, because 10 minutes of that was better than 3 hours of this. Trust me. As far as what they should do with AJ Styles, I already laid that all out on the table when we talked about Shinsuke Nakamura earlier, because these two fates are intertwined no matter what. And if the WWE fails to pull the trigger on this match at WrestleMania, if they do it before WrestleMania, it's a failure. If they do it after WrestleMania, it's even more of a failure. They have to pull the trigger on it at the right time, and it will put this company back on track if they can get themselves to start thinking in that direction. After this match, we had the most boring, the most pointless, useless, retarded match that I have had to sit through in the longest time. If you watched the pre-show, and I'm sorry I keep leaning a little bit off camera, if you watched the pre-show, you know my feelings about flag matches. I fucking hate flag matches. They are the absolute worst match type ever conceived. It's not the 70s anymore. They barely worked in the 80s. After that, it's just unacceptable. It's lazy booking. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody looks good in this match. And it did everything that I knew it would do. It was long. It was drawn out. It was over dramatic. And it was absolutely pointless. What did John Cena get out of this flag match win? Other than his patriotic, I'm John Cena, USA is #1 bullshit. And while we're talking about that, how many different ways can we tell the same story in one night? You got John Cena and Rusev doing the anti-American thing. You got Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. Kevin Owens is the new face of America that's hypocritical, and he's doing it in jest, and he's actually bashing America. And AJ Styles is the good old down-home country boy who's fighting against this guy. And then you got Jinder and Randy, which we're going to get to in a minute. How many different ways can we tell the same story? On the same show! It's fucking horrendous, the way they're writing this shit. If you look at it that way, it's like, what else are they gonna do? Let's just do this over and over and over again because we have no other ideas. What else could you do? There's a million other things you can do. You can call me, for starters, and I can help you bitches out up there in Connecticut, because this match was dreadful. And I mentioned that I was unsure of the caveat that they would add to the match, because there's always a special twist added to a flag match at the end. Either you have to break it, or you have to drape it over your opponent, or you have to do something else once you get the flag. And I knew it was coming. We're a standard traditional flag match, not that I accept it in any way, but the traditional way to go about it is you retrieve the flag from the post, you win. That is the definition of a flag match. Where the fuck did the racing element come into play? With finish line, when was there ever a finish line to cross without a gurney being involved? The only time I've seen wrestlers race to the finish line in any particular way on a wrestling program is in a stretcher match where you have to put your opponent on the stretcher and roll his ass over the line towards the ambulance. That doesn't work here. Why does he have to run up the aisle with the flag? Running like fucking Braveheart with his soldiers holding the flag? Freedom! The fuck out of here. Race to the finish line. Let's find how many different ways we could make this match even worse. Oh, we could make it a race. I can't. It was horrible. It was all I could do to keep my eyes open and stay awake during this match. I just really could kill it. I don't give a shit how many tables John Cena put Rusev through. He's been buried since before this match began. And the further burial of Rusev continues with this match. What does anybody gain from this? Rusev just comes out a total loser. Maybe he's just riding it out right now. Like Del Rio. He's just gonna, alright, you want me to fucking do this stupid flag match and lose to Cena for the 100,000th time? Yeah, right, fine. Because when the time expires, he's probably out. And I wouldn't blame him. Especially after a night like tonight. I was so fucking bored that I forgot about the next match that was coming up. Which is Sami Zayn versus Mike Kanellis. Which I said in my pre-show would probably end up stealing the show. But in order to do that, they'd have to actually give you time on the show. Yeah, the match was on the main card, but how long did this match go? 6 minutes? 5 minutes? Felt like they just got going, and then all of a sudden Sammy hits a Helluva Kick and gets the win. He gets his win back from the match on Tuesday where he lost to Mike Kanellis thanks to the interference by Maria. They tried to pull the same shenanigans tonight, but it didn't work out. Ends up Sammy gets his win back, so this match only means that there's going to be another one. Hopefully they push this one to SummerSlam as well, because I was enjoying the interaction between these two backstage. I thought it was a good way to build story. It's very classic wrestling, just constantly crossing paths backstage. One guy always being in the wrong place at the wrong time and messing with the other guy, and it comes out like this. And the match quality that they can have, if Tuesday is any indication, because they didn't give us enough time today to really make any type of a judgment call like that, is going to be great. If they actually gave these guys 15 minutes, 20 minutes of a match time to really show what they can do, they have fantastic chemistry, and you could see it. And you could see that they want to just keep going and that they could probably do it. And if this match featured some sort of a title in between these two guys, it would end up being a show-stealing match every single time. Hands down. Hands down. This match, within its 5 minutes, was probably the best match I had seen on this card, aside from the tag team match, which was actually very, very good, aside from the ending. We had the Fashion Files, which was my favorite moment of the night, and when that is your favorite moment of a wrestling show, then there is something wrong with your wrestling show. But we had the Fashion Police backstage getting ready to find out who has been messing with them, who pooped in their bag, and who ripped the head off of Fandango's horse. The Ascension would come in and claim it was them, but Breezango quickly put that to bed, as they said, you guys weren't even at the show last week. And then when confronted with a severed horse head, these frightening looking demon men would shriek like little sissy girls and run away in terror. Alright, so that's what they think of the Ascension. Nonetheless, this whole entire segment was very, very entertaining, and then would end leaving us more intrigued as the lights would go out and poor Tyler Breeze and Fandango would be attacked in the dark, and the light would only reveal somebody stealing Fandango while Tyler Breeze was knocked out on the floor in his pretty little red wig. Absolutely best moment of the night, hands down. And I'm not being sarcastic. I laughed, I thought it was great, and I want to see more. I just wish that they would do these segments and then allow these guys to go out there and wrestle without dressing up like grannies and fucking strippers. And just let them go out there and wrestle, because these are two of the best actual wrestlers you have on the roster, and them and this team is magic, and it's got some heat, good heat, and they really should push these guys to the moon. You need people to challenge the New Day now, because they can't just keep fighting the Usos. And who else is there? The Ascension, who's running away from stuffed horses? What are they gonna, when they see a unicorn, what the fuck are they gonna do? I'm sure they're gonna run for the hills for that too, living or dead. Anyway, Fashion Files, 2 enthusiastic thumbs up, fan-fucking-tastic. And now, we're going to do this as quickly as possible, because this match was everything I feared it would be, much like most of the shit on this card. The Punjabi prison match was just awful. It had two moments that are worth talking about, and neither one of them have really anything to do with the champ or the challenger, because the bump of the night goes to one of the two Singh brothers, who would go up 15 feet in the air to try to stop Randy Orton, and for his troubles he would be punched in the face and fall 15 feet from the top of the prison cell, crashing through the announce table below. Great spot, great bump. Hope the kid was alright, because it looked pretty fucking sick. His head really whipped back when he hit that table. I hope he didn't get a whiplash or a concussion of any type. But absolutely fucking breathtaking when you see it. It was beautiful, beautiful spot. And the only other moment of note, which you know already is coming, we had the great Khali come down and help Jinder Mahal retain his championship tonight. And were we supposed to be excited? Because I wasn't excited. Were you excited? You let me know if you were excited for the great Khali down in the comments below, and then I could boot you off this channel, because nobody was excited for the great Khali. Not even the great Khali was excited to be the great Khali in those minutes. At least that's what it looked like in his face. Because he came out to the sound of crickets, a very light cheer from the crowd, I guess just the, hey, we remember you kind of deal, you know, because nobody really gave a shit. And then he would go on and very impressively hang Randy Orton from his neck, holding him in his meat hook hands through the cell or prison, It's not the cell. Hell in the Cells. Hell in the Cell. It's the Punjabi prison. Holding him through the prison. Holding him up. Stopping him from being able to climb or descend the cage. As Jinder Mahal would hop up and over the side. Couple of very cool visuals here and there at this moment. But we're not watching these shows to see cool visuals of people staring at each other through bars. Now, talking about staring through bars, one of the main hindering points of this match is the fact that you really can't fucking see what they're doing when they take a wide camera shot. And even when they're inside the ring, it's very hurtful to your eyes. Your view's obstructed. Your brain wants you to look through the bars and be like, but you can't, because the camera is the camera. You're not the fucking camera. And the camera's never where your eyes want to be. And you can't see inside the Punjabi prison. It gets even worse when you're outside, because there's just way too much going on. So all those wide angle shots were terrible. All the involvement with the Singh midgets, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. These guys are both together maybe one person compared to Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal. They were such a devastating force to be reckoned with for the Legend Killer, for the Viper. He can't just fucking take out these guys easier than he did. Come on now. This is fucking ridiculous. And the Great Khali, like I said, what are we talking about here? We're talking about a guy that can't even deliver a tomahawk chop. My 5-year-old daughter could take her hand and chop me to the head, and it would be more believable than a Great Khali tomahawk chop. This is a guy that is notorious for his inability to wrestle. And you want me to be excited for him to be back? On the flip side, I do appreciate their trying to make this more intriguing. I appreciate them doing something a little different. I did not think this was coming when I did my pre-show. I didn't think it was coming yesterday. Even when the show started, I didn't think it. But while the match was progressing for 1 minute, I said, man, wouldn't it be something if the Great Khali came out and then the fucking music hit and the Great Khali came out? It wasn't like the minute I said it. It was maybe like 2 or 3 minutes later. But it was like, holy crap. I couldn't believe it. I wasn't happy about it. I wasn't excited for it. But as far as the presentation of Jinder Mahal is concerned, it does a lot for the guy. It instantly makes him more scary. It makes him instantly a little bit more credible, not because of his wrestling ability and being able to learn anything from Khali, but simply based off the fact that he has this big, imposing man that you are probably going to have to get through to get to him now. And it just makes the presentation just a little better. It's almost as if Khali was the piece that Jinder was missing to really get his character into that space they want it to be in. And then you got the little singlets, the little sing midgets. So Jinder's got the whole variety of sizes covered. He's got from small to super extra large. Nobody's going to be able to mess with him, no matter how big or little you may be. He's got you covered. And that's the only thing I'm kind of interested in seeing is where this develops, how far this is going. How they were able to keep this a secret is beyond me. You can't keep these other big things like AJ Styles and whatnot secrets, but you can keep this under wraps. Holy shit. What size fucking bag were they holding that cat in? You let that cat out of the bag tonight and it let out a little purr. Because nobody gave a shit. I didn't give a shit. He didn't give a shit. Randy Orton now definitely is not finished with Jinder Mahal. My biggest concern is if I have to see Randy Orton or John Cena or anybody have to take on the Great Khali. The man in the ring is a redwood tree. He just don't move. He's stiff as a board. It's like the Tin Man in there. It's not graceful. You can't understand the word he says. Last time we seen him, he was doing kiss cams and being funny and having Hornswoggle as his little buddy, and now I'm supposed to be intimidated by you again and scared of the great Khali. I don't know. He doesn't have his fun music anymore. It's that creepy, weird, older one he had. So obviously, the evil great Khali is back, and he is here to help his I don't know, are they both from Pakistan, or are they both his Punjabi brother maintain his grasp on the World Heavyweight Championship. So, aside from that sick bump and Khali's return, nothing else special to talk about in this match. And there's nothing else special to talk about in this pay-per-view. And we are going to call it on that note. WWE Battleground was another dud in a long line of duds that we've been getting lately from the WWE. Maybe it's because I've been watching too much other stuff that's actually really good, like the G1 special and NXT and Lucha Underground, which when I watch it, I'm fully, what's the word? I'm full. I'm not fully, I am full. Full to the rim with satisfaction that I wish I could come and unleash upon all of you. But apparently, you guys don't care too much for that. If you want to see some Lucha Underground reviews and you want me to talk about NXT more often, you let me know in the comments below. If you liked anything I said, if you disagreed with anything I said, let me know in the comments below. Most importantly, if you enjoyed yourself and you had a good time here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show today, smash that thumb for me, punch it right in the mouth, harder than the great Khali throws a chop, which isn't very hard, so you don't have to use much force at all. Just hit that thumbs up, let me know you like what I'm doing over here, and most importantly, if you are not among the mass the mass incoming of subscribers that joined the family this week, hit that subscribe button. Tap the little bell so that you always know when a video goes live and you can get your eyes on it, and then do the same on each and every video. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Because I deserve a thumbs up. This show, thumbs down. Thank you for joining us, you guys. We will see you tomorrow for the Monday Night Raw review, which, as always, we're never looking forward to Monday Night Raw nowadays anyway. Thank you so much for joining us for Blue, the undisputed microphone champion of the world. I am Nick Nightmare. This has been the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV, only available on YouTube.com, and we are ready. And thank you for watching the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, and we will see you next time. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.